Hi guys, how's it going? It's Julian and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we will continue reading Polyglot Notes, and in the last episode we mentioned different techniques that we can apply to improve our reading skills, and today we will be finishing with this section. In the next video we will be start another one. So let's go ahead and let's start to mention the latest techniques that we can apply to improve our reading skills. Okay, the last one that we mentioned was the method of reading by Ilya Frank, which basically consists in a couple of notes that we can have uh, close to the main text in our target language, and we can have the meaning of different words and phrases, and to have more context without any dictionary, so it's pretty useful. Okay, the next one is show perseverance in reading. Overcome the book at any cost. Even if the work was too complicated or boring for you, despite the lack of desire and motivation, read the book to the end. It's happened to me a lot with this book, actually. Yeah, it's kind of complicated sometimes to show perseverance to finish a book, you know. Even more when I do for myself the reading for a book, it's easier. But when I need to make these videos as well to upload to YouTube, it's kind of harder because you need to edit a lot of stuff and make the thumbnail and stuff. But when you just read to enjoy the book, it is even better. So yeah, but yeah, it happens even if you don't create content for YouTube. Usually happen a lot that you don't have motivation, and we need to overcome to that situation because everything is about be consistent, not just to finish a book but even in the life. So sorry because for this small talk, small talk. Okay, show perseverance in reading. Overcome the book at any cost, even if the work has too complicated or boring for you. Despite the lack of desire and motivation, read the book to the end. Sometimes it happens that the last 50 pages of the book opens a second breath and wakes up interest in the book. This teaches you self-discipline and habit. This teaches you self-discipline and habit. Learn the language without interest and motivation. Yeah, that's pretty important. This is one of the best advices in the book until now. Read to yourself. When you read to yourself, you focus only on reading, so new words and expressions will be better remembered. In addition, you will learn new meanings of words. Okay. In addition, you will learn new meanings of words you know and see in what other contexts they can be used. When reading aloud, you're likely to ignore words you already know. Okay, yeah. Read to yourself. Basically, read in silence. Like it's the opposite to read aloud. Okay, when you read to yourself, you focus only on reading, so new words and expressions will be better remembered. In addition, you will learn new meanings of words you know and see in what context they can be used. When reading aloud, you are likely to ignore words you already know. Yeah, that happens sometimes to me. By reading aloud, you will improve your knowledge of grammar and become familiar with it. When by reading aloud, you will improve your knowledge of grammar and become familiar with it in practice. You're fully focused on text. This way, you can understand grammatical constructions and understand how they work and when they are used. By example, gradually, the speed of reading will increase, while at the same time your understanding of the text will improve. Look for the meaning of words you don't know after you have finished reading. If you stop at each word, your reading speed will decrease and you will lose the thread of the narrative. You will lose interest in reading because You no longer understand what the text is about and cannot fully immerse yourself in the language environment. Read aloud. Reading aloud is harder than reading out loud to yourself. Reading out loud is harder than reading aloud to yourself. Firstly, become Firstly, because we are quietly tired. Our facial muscles and vocal cords are not used to work so much. Secondly, because it's difficult to get into the text. Reading about ourselves, we silently absorb information. Secondly, because it's difficult to get into the text. Reading about ourselves, we silently absorb information. Reading out loud, we use more hearing and speech. Our brain is busy listening and talking, not listening to information. So we are distracting ourselves from our main so we are distracting ourselves from our main occupation. At first we are. However, these difficulties are overcome over time because they are caused by habit. Reading out loud is a whole complex of activities Reading out loud is a whole complex of activities that develops three skills at once. Okay, reading aloud is a whole complex of activities that develops three skills at once. Reading, speaking, and listening. Okay, reading, speaking, and listening. You see the text, you play it, and you hear it. It is difficult to. You see the text, you play it, and you hear it. It is difficult to train three skills at once. When you become familiar with reading aloud, other skills will be developed in parallel. Make a short paraphrase. Briefly state main thoughts of the read text in a foreign language. Okay, make a short paraphrase. Briefly state the main thoughts of the read text in a foreign language. If you understand the text, you can easily highlight the main thoughts and describe the key ideas in a few words. Yeah, basically like this. Maybe sometimes I can stop the paragraph and start to talk about it, to describe it with my own words, and that's how we paraphrase usually. And it's even to have like a little idea about the paragraph, it's pretty useful to express that idea because in your target language, of course. Read the learning texts. Read the learning texts. As a rule, the self-study of a foreign language provides teaching texts which become more complex as you learn the language. Okay, read the learning texts. As a rule, the self-study of a foreign language provides teaching texts which become more complex as you learn the language. Okay, as a rule, the self-study of a foreign language provides teaching texts which become more complex as you learn the language. The percentage of unfamiliar words in the text is small, and at the end of the text there are dictionaries with new words and expressions found in the text. In addition, training texts are also accompanied by tasks to keep the new expressions and grammatical constructions in mind. Give me a second. Read the learning texts. As a rule, the self-study of a foreign language provides teaching texts which are become more complex as you learn the language. Okay, the percentage of unfamiliar words in text is small, and at the end of the text there are dictionaries with new words and expressions found in text. In addition, training texts are also accompanied by tasks to keep new expressions and grammatical constructions in mind. Read foreign language blogs. This is pretty beautiful. Blogging communication is a live language communication on social networks that is used today and where new words may appear tomorrow. Read newspapers and magazines. Newspapers and magazines reflect modern spoken language. Read articles written by native speakers. Regular reading can improve your language skills very well. Your vocabulary increases. Structures and phrases from articles are memorized. It will be much easier to make sentences in a foreign language. Your speech will get closer to native speakers. Regular reading of newspapers and magazines will help you learn how to write articles. Activating your vocabulary. Do you understand? Do you understand the meaning of many words and are easy to use in speech? Okay, activating your vocabulary. Do you understand the meaning of many words and are easy to use in speech? This vocabulary refers to active vocabulary. Passive vocabulary. These are words and grammatical constructions about which you know the meaning but do not use in speech. It is reading in a foreign language that helps you to activate the passive vocabulary. To activate your passive vocabulary, your speech is getting richer. Okay, passive vocabulary. These are words and grammatical constructions about which you know the meaning but do not use in speech. It is reading in a foreign language that helps you to activate the passive vocabulary. Your speech is getting richer. Learning grammar in practice. In the books, the texts are written correctly, so you can see the grammar structure of a foreign language. Learning grammar in practice. In the books, the texts are written correctly, so you can see the grammar structures of a foreign language. Development of conversational skills. While reading the book, you will memorize new words and phrases, speech turns and idioms. Something will be forgotten and sometime developed of conversational skills. While reading the book, you will memorize new words and phrases, speech turns and idioms. Something will be forgotten and something will remain in your memory. All this knowledge can be used in your own speech. Okay, while reading the book, you will memorize new words and phrases, speech turns and idioms. Something will be forgotten and sometimes will remain in your memory. All this knowledge can be used in your own speech. The more you read, the more you can say. Your speech will be more complex and beautiful. Your speech will be more complex and beautiful through reading books. Read the books of one author. If you read the works in a foreign language of your favorite author, you will understand her style. The language and manner of the author will be clear to you. Reading improves your memory. Reading in any language Reading improves our memory. Reading in any language makes our brain work, thinking about the text we've read. Okay, reading improves our memory. Reading in any language makes our brains work, thinking about the text we've read. And reading in a foreign language makes us double our efforts. Such a useful exercise will allow you to develop and keep your memory and thinking in tone. It's one of the best ways to protect yourself from Alzheimer's. That's very important, guys. Don't get Alzheimer, please, and read a lot and keep your brain fresh. Reading improves concentration. Reading books makes you concentrate on the content of the text without being distracted by external stimulus. In this way, you will learn to concentrate on one thing that will help you succeed not only in learning a foreign language, but also in other matters. Reading is a great hobby that is suitable for everyone without exception. For beginners and professionals, reading is possible anywhere. It is convenient to take the book with you. Reading foreign literature, you will learn to Reading foreign literature you will learn the socio-cultural characteristics of other countries. Format: paper or electronic edition. Choose what's closest to you. Choose what's closest to you. When working with electronic format, many reading applications have built-in dictionaries, so you only need to click on an unfamiliar word to find out its meaning. Vocabulary from these books can be easily copied into one of the word study and memorization application. Vocabulary from these books can be easily copied into one of the word study and memorization applications like Anki. Increase your self-esteem. Studying a foreign language through reading literature bears fruit. Increase your self-esteem. Studying a foreign language through reading literature bears fruit. Okay. Increase your self-esteem. Studying a foreign language through reading literature bears fruit. It makes us proud of our achievements and motivates us to continue to succeed. And we finished the how to develop reading skills, guys. So proud of you and so proud of me, cause I've been procrastinating this section for a while. So yeah, the next one will be developing writing skills. Then we have how to use the language environment in different contexts, and we just have like actually we just have like maybe 48 pages more and we finish the book. That's amazing. It's amazing. And well, about this section, I really love this section, even more the second part, the things that we read in this video, because give you like a different context about what is reading, because usually it's one of the most tired things that we can make, but at the same time our author mentioned that it's pretty useful to give you more discipline in your life uh, in different fields of your life, and give you many useful matters to keep improving. So yeah, it's amazing. And at the same time, I think that in my case it's pretty useful to my speaking it is okay now, and it's not a big deal to talk in another language, at least a few words. Even with other person like a native speaker, at least you can introduce yourself and ask for the price in a grocery or that kind of things. But it's harder read, but it's a beautiful thing that you can do, because you're getting a lot of words, and you can practice your intonation, you can get new vocabulary, you can learn how it is the grammar constructions in the sentences, and it's amazing, and you can learn a lot, and it can make your brain fresh and relaxed. It's a beautiful hobby. And in my case, I think that now I need to start to read a lot to learn in my target language. A lot, not just, well, I'm learning this language. I need to learn in that language a lot of stuff, because at the end, the language is just a tool that we can use, we want to use for other things, to communicate, to learn new things about other cultures, to read a book in their original language. And at the end, is that the point? So the most useful thing is consume that valuable content, and the books, we have authors from many years before us, so it's amazing. And in my case, this is for me. I'm saying this for me. I need to read more, a lot of things more, because I'm in a point in which I can use the language, I can talk with people, I can make a lot of things, express ideas, write, and but reading, if you can read in other language and get access to other information, valuable information, is the best that you can do. and it's amazing. So thank you guys for this moment, for share this chapter with me, and hit the subscribe button. It is pretty useful for me to keep growing on YouTube. And give me a like, subscribe, and see you later, and have a good day, and bye bye.